and emotional learning. So it has got 5 attributes: self-awareness, responsible decision making, relationship skills, social awareness, and self-management. Now, as I said, there are 4 types of growth that is happening. What are those growth? Physical development, intellectual development, social development, and emotional development. There are about 9 positive values: respect for yourself and others, kindness, healthy lifestyle, responsibility, honesty, courage, self-discipline, service, and commitment to family. Then we saw about goal setting. Why goal setting is important? Unless and until you learn to set the goals, we may not be able to achieve what he or she is wanting to achieve in life. While making these personal goals, we may make some mistakes. So we learned how to overcome these Sorry, there is a little disturbance. So how to set a goal? First, you need to state your goal. Make sure your goal is important to you, clear and measurable, realistic, dependent on specific action steps you can take. Second is list the steps you will take to reach your goal. Then consider the possible blocks and ways to deal with them. I told you earlier, to start or to do anything, we will have both positive and negative aspects. Same way, we will also have some disturbances coming in between. So we need to plan well. That is the reason we set a goal. When you set a goal, you will understand what are the possible difficulties we can face, so that we can also work on the solutions to overcome those problems. Next, you should ensure that you have a timeline. Why did I say timeline is important? If you are not going to have any timeline, what will happen? We don't even know whether we are progressing, when we will be able to reach our goal. We'll be completely clueless. So if you are clueless, there will be no motivation. Then you won't even try to achieve your goal. So it is very important that you set a time frame. There should be a starting point and a finishing point. And without any support, we cannot do anything. For each and everything, we are all help seekers. So we definitely need support system. We have our parents and teachers to guide us. Maybe you will also need some other support system like books or computer, or it can be anything else, to get the resources for which will help you to achieve your goal. Then review and then revise your plan. Once you succeed, then you celebrate. So if you have to do it, you must understand what are your strengths and qualities. Once you know your strengths and qualities, that will help you to take the risk, because you know what are you good at and what are the skills you have and how you can handle any situation. So that will be a great motivation for you. So if you work on your strengths and qualities, that will help you. Then students goal planning sheet. This is, I am good at, I need to work on. You know what you are good at academically. Especially these sheets help you to work on your academics excellence. So all of you can get A grade. How can you get A grade? You must be thinking, no, I am not good in maths. I am not good in social science. How can I get A grade in everything? No, it is definitely possible. You start applying this planning sheet. When you start applying this planning sheet, when you start going step by step, then it will become very easy for you, and you will really wonder that you are able to achieve what you want to achieve in life. If you want to do all this, what is very important? Building self confidence. Now, what is self confidence? Self confidence means we relate it to three-legged stool so that you remember it. What are the three legs? Developing skills, respecting self and others, acting responsibly. Developing skills means skills which will help to upgrade towards positive growth. సో ఏది ఒక విషయం మీకు మంచిగా మిమ్మల్ని అప్గ్రేడ్ చేస్తుందో ఆ స్కిల్ని మీరు డెవలప్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఒక థాట్ మీలో ఉండాలి. యూ షుడ్ ఆల్వేస్ బీ విల్లింగ్ టు గ్రో అప్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు గ్రో అప్, it is not only physical growth, your intellectual growth. Intellectual growth అనేది నాలెడ్జ్ ద్వారా వస్తుంది. ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ ఎలా దొరుకుతుంది? ఆ స్కిల్ని మనం నేర్చుకోవాలా. ఆ స్కిల్ నేర్చుకోవాలంటే అది నేర్చుకోవాలా అనే ఆ మైండ్ మనకు ఉండాలి. సో if you have the ability to learn, no, I want to be self confident, I want to do this అనే ఆ మైండ్ మీలో ఉంటే, then ability to develop a skill will become very easy for you. Then respecting self and others, then taking responsibility for your own actions, that will lead to success. Then we've discussed about communication. Communication is very, very important, and communication skills are very large. You have verbal communication, non-verbal communication. There are different kinds of communication, and the most important aspect of communication is listening. There is a difference between listening and hearing. Hearing means you are partially listening. Partial ante sagame vinadam, పూర్తిగా వినడం కాదు. పూర్తిగా వింటున్నామంటే దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ లిజనింగ్. పూర్తిగా వింటున్నామంటే దాంట్లో ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి? యూ విల్ బి అటెంటివ్. మీరు ఆర్ట్ ఆఫ్ లిజనింగ్ ని పూర్తిగా ప్రయోగం చేస్తారు. నౌ వాట్ ఈస్ మెన్ బై ఆర్ట్ ఆఫ్ లిజనింగ్? అటెండ్ టు ద స్పీకర్, recognize the speaker's point of view, take time to ask and comment. Now, how do you know that you are an active listener? Nodding head to acknowledge speaker, raising hand to ask relevant questions, raising hand to respond to question, making eye contact with the speaker, sitting up straight, and then you will sit in such a posture that everybody will know you're curious to learn something. You will start taking notes also. So art of listening is look at the person talking, listen, and do not interrupt or move around, nod or say yes to show you understand, ask a question to find out more, repeat what you heard in your own words briefly. Next is stepping up to good decisions. I told you yesterday also, adolescent children are the age group of children between an adult and a child. So you have crossed your childhood, but you are not an adult. You are in between. Your age is like a sandwich age. So you should know how you have to grow when you want to become a great adult. If the only symptom which shows that you are growing healthily and you are growing stronger as a positive adult is behaving independently. Now, how do you behave? How do we know that you are behaving independently? Independently means that you help your own self. You are not dependent on others. The most important aspect is you are able to make your own decisions. So the next thing what we saw was stepping up to good decisions. ఇంతవరకు అమ్మ నాన్న టీచర్స్ వాళ్ళందరూ మనకు హెల్ప్ చేశారు, బికాస్ వీ వేర్ యంగ్, వీ వేర్ నాట్ మెచ్యూర్డ్ ఇనఫ్, వీ డెంట్ హ్యావ్ దట్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ టు మేక్ అవర్ ఓన్ డెసిషన్స్. ఇది రైట్గా ఉంటుందా, రాంగ్ అయిపోతుందా, ఇది మంచిదా చెడ్డదా అనేది మనకు తెలియదు అనమాట. బట్ నౌ యు ఆర్ ఇన్ అన్ ఏజ్ వేర్ యూ కెన్ లెర్న్ ఎనీథింగ్ because you have abundance of energy in you, and if you build self confidence, then definitely you will learn how to make good decisions. Now for that we saw 6 steps: identify, think, predict, choose, do, and then rethink. Then we learned about service learning, why is it important, all that we learned. Then coming to managing emotions. How am I feeling? Feelings are something, if you are not able to control your emotions and if you are not able to identify your feelings, then that can lead to many negative things. So it is very important for us to learn to manage our emotions. For that, we need to understand the difference between emotions and thinking. Emotion is a mental and physical reaction we have to the world around us and to our own thoughts, which is called feelings. Thinking ante enti? Forming ideas and opinions, reflecting, coming to conclusions, also predicting. Now, this is related to thoughts, emotions, and actions. Thoughts can be negative, thoughts can be positive also. If your thoughts are positive, then your action will also be positive. But if your thoughts are negative, then your actions will also be negative. And whoever is associated with you, whoever is your friend or your family members, then they all will tell that he is a bad boy or she is a bad girl. Why? Because if you have a negative thought, your emotions will be negative. Because of that, your action will also be negative. Then we also saw how to alter our emotions, how to convert our negative emotion into a positive emotion. To climb to the peaks, remember these questions. What is the most helpful thought I can have in this situation? What action can I take that will be helpful to myself and others? Never think that success means always getting number one. It is how you bounce back on the bottom. Ante failure anedi lekunda nobody can grow up in life. Every time you can't be successful. Sometimes we may miss out, but missing out is not a problem. The most important thing about success is, even if you lose, you should immediately bounce back with self confidence, learn the skill, find out what went wrong and work towards it, and then reach the top. Then how to manage your anger, మనం అది కూడా చూసాం. We saw a lot of positive quotes which will help us to calm our mind when we have a negative emotion. Then we learnt about peer relation. Peer relationship is very important, especially adolescent age. You all love to spend more time with your friends. Who are your friends? It is very important, because there is a saying, tell me who your friends are, I will tell you who you are. Ante mimmalni gurinchi, the way your friends are behaving, they will find out what charactered person you are. So it is very important to ensure that we have good friends around us. Peer ante same age group lo unnavallu. Suppose with respect to school ankondi, suppose you are all studying in 7th standard or 8th standard, that means all 8th standard students, there may be 10 sections, but all the 10 sections children are your peer group. So peer means of the same age. Office lo chuste సేమ్ కేటగిరీ. సపోజ్ అకౌంటెంట్స్ ఉన్నారనుకోండి, అందరూ అకౌంటెంట్స్ ఒక 10 అకౌంటెంట్ ఒక ఆఫీస్లో పనిచేస్తే వాళ్ళందరూ పియర్స్ అనమాట. సో ద సేమ్ ఏజ్ గ్రూప్ ఆర్ సేమ్ ప్రొఫెషన్ అవన్నీ ఉన్న వాళ్ళని పియర్ అంటాము. నౌ దిస్ పియర్ రిలేషన్షిప్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఎస్పెషలీ at the growing stage, because a adolescent stage lo if you have a good friend company, then your future can be very bright, and you will also be a great asset to your friend, and your friend will also be a great asset to you. And for that we saw how we should behave in school with your peers. Most importantly, you need to have these 4 qualities, that is the integrity, graciousness, responsibility, and public spiritedness. What is meant by integrity? Do the right thing even when no one is watching, being honest, being sincere, keeping up our promise, admitting our mistakes. Now, what is meant by graciousness? Using polite words, using art of listening, being thankful, respecting everyone, being patient and forgiving. Then responsibility. Responsibility comes with self-discipline. Then you should learn to manage your emotions, behave well in the classroom, taking good care of your belongings, and then completing your homework, because that is your responsibility. In this age, your responsibility is to take care of your things, do your homework properly, study very well, get academic excellence, and grow as a good child. Then public spiritedness. Public spiritedness talks about social awareness. What are the things that is there in public spiritedness? Service, helping others, taking initiative, taking good care of not only your belongings but also to the school or public property. What is meant by public property? Like we might be using public transport, isn't it? Sometimes we use bus, we use van, we use train. These are all public properties. So you should not spoil them. You should take responsibility, because these things are to help us. So we must not spoil them. Then keep your classroom clean. Why is it important to keep your classroom clean? Because you are the one who is sitting there and learning. So if you are not going to keep your classroom, bench, desk, board, cupboards, everything clean, then who else will do it? So taking care of your classroom, and most importantly, helping others. Classroom rules. Be on time, prepared and ready to learn. Listen carefully when others are speaking. Follow directions at the same time. Be polite. Say please and thank you. Respect yourself and others. Raise your hands for permission to speak. Speak English. Maintain a clean workplace. Do not eat or drink in the classroom. Why speaking English is important? It is important because it is an international language. There are in the world, you have more than 100 languages. It is very difficult to learn all the languages. But if you want to really grow up in life, travel the world, and then learn so many things, then at least one language which is common to everybody we must learn. Otherwise, it will become very difficult and you may not be able to move out of your place. So, English is considered as an international language which is accepted all over the world. So, you must learn English and start practicing it. Then we saw there are different kinds of peer relationship. Friendship has got so many dimensions, like you have casual friends, you have close friends, you have bossy friends, you have both positive and negative friends. Now, how to let go negative friends? So I gave you this exercise. Make a list of friendship in your life Circle who are all good. మనకు తెలుస్తుంది కదా, వీడు చాలా మంచోడు, షీ ఈస్ వెరీ గుడ్, షీ ఈస్ వెరీ కైండ్, షీ రెస్పెక్ట్స్ మీ, అలా మనకు తెలుసు కదా. సో సర్కిల్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ దోస్ హూ ఆర్ పాజిటివ్. For the remainder, assess and circle those who are positive. Cross off those who are negative. Focus on the ones who are circled. Let go or reduce contact with those that have been crossed off. Now, this exercise will help you to select your good friend. Then, by using this ask and solved formula, you will be able to win over your friends. Solved formula helps you when you have some sort of a misunderstanding with your close friend. If you use this solved formula, you can get back your friends again. Next, strengthening family relationship. Children are the future of a family and our hidden treasures. When they are born, they are welcomed into the family, and as they grow, they learn different things from their parents. These lessons include respect for each other and life in general. మనకు ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి ఏం దొరుకుతుంది? Family provides emotional, psychological, moral and material support to members. The family provides physical security in terms of food, clothing, shelter and other needs to its members. What is the most important thing that we should remember with respect to our family relationship to be strengthened? There should be honesty and forgiveness. These two aspects are very, very important. Now, how to strengthen family relationship? You must demonstrate care and love. You should show support, especially during difficult times. You must show them that you trust your family well. Express commitment, taking responsibility, spending time together with parents and family members, respecting them, then working together to solve problems, being sensitive to other needs. Family values has got these 4 important aspects: love and respect, communication and honesty, sharing, understanding, sensitivity. Then we also planned for a nice interview with parents. Next most important aspect of adolescent age is to make healthy choices, because at this age you must be having lot of peer pressure. Because of the peer pressure, sometimes you will be forced to make some negative actions or do some negative things. If you understand what is right and what is wrong, if you know how to make healthy choices, then you will become a role model for so many other children whom you can transform. So, we also saw some good life quotes which help you to make healthy choices. Now, yesterday I was telling you this session is mainly for smoking, drinking and drugs. These are all bad. We all know smoking is injurious to health, drinking is bad for our health, and drugs are really a life killer. We know all these things. But sometimes we get forced to get into some stupid habits because we don't understand the value of life. ఇప్పుడు మీకు బాగా అర్థమైతే మీకే తెలుస్తుంది, ఈవెన్ వితౌట్ గెటింగ్ ఇన్ టు బ్యాడ్ హ్యాబిట్స్ పీపుల్ గెట్ బ్లడ్ ప్రెషర్ అండ్ షుగర్. సఫర్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా, మన ఫ్యామిలీలో కూడా పెద్దోళ్ళు ఉంటారు హూ విల్ బీ సఫరింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ బీపీ అండ్ షుగర్. Why do they get all these things? They may not be having any bad habits, but still they get it. Why? Because they don't sleep properly. They are not able to handle stress. Emotional handling వాళ్ళకు తెలీదు. Then they don't eat properly, they don't take healthy food, they don't sleep at right time, they use lot of technology, then having lot of junk food, keeping awake for so long during nights without taking rest, all these things lead to blood pressure. And blood pressure, because of blood pressure, you get stroke, blindness, heart attack, kidney failure, మరి blood vessels కూడా డ్యామేజ్ అవుతుంది. అలాగే diabetics also, if you are not following a good routine healthy pattern, you will get diabetics and blood pressure. Diabetics also very dangerous because it affects your eyesight, you will get stroke, you will get a neurology problem, nerve problem, and blood flow will be affected, and you will be so weak that any kind of disease will immediately get into your body. So even without getting into any bad habits, we are affected by blood pressure and sugar. So children, it is very important that you understand, you must avoid smoking, drinking, and usage of drugs. Your whole life will be spoiled. Not only your life, your whole family will get disturbed. And there are so many families who have got affected because of this. If you see this slide, even drinking Pepsi and Coke are given red light. That means they are not good for our health. It is dangerous to have more of Pepsi, Coke, all these aerated drinks antam manam. So you should never have these aerated drinks. Once in a while, because your children, you can have the second category of drinks like fruit juices, diet soda. But even then, you can have it once in a month or once in 2 months. That also you cannot have regularly. But what is really good for you is drinking fresh water, then having milk and healthy foods will really help your body to stay healthy and hydrated. Now, what are the effects of smoking? Some of the effects that may be experienced after smoking tobacco includes reduction in activity of brain and nervous system, increased blood pressure and heart rate, decreased blood flow to fingers and toes. అందుకే smokers, if you see their hands, their fingers, and then their toes, their lips, they all will be dark in color. These are all poison that is there in them. And there is a decoloration. వాళ్ళు డార్క్గా అయిపోతారు. They'll have a bad breath. మంచి అపిటైట్ ఉండదు. They don't feel like eating. They always feel drowsy. ఒక డిజినెస్ ఉంటుంది, వామిటింగ్, అబ్డోమినల్ క్రాంప్స్ ఉంటుంది, హెడేక్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుంది, దే విల్ బి కాఫింగ్, అండ్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ అ ఇరిటేషన్ ఇన్ దేర్ థ్రోట్. And children, you must understand, smoking is so dangerous that when people are around a person who is smoking, they also get affected the same way, and they will also have all the health problems as how these smokers are facing. They are known as passive smokers. It occurs when a person who is not smoking breathes in the smoke from people who are smoking. అంటే స్మోక్ చేసే వాళ్ళ పక్కన మనం ఉంటే సేమ్ థింగ్ వీఆర్ ఆల్సో బ్రీదింగ్ ఇన్, నో, that is very dangerous. So we are called passive smokers. అందుకే పెద్దోళ్ళు ఇంట్లో ఉంటే we always say, when small children, pregnant ladies, or old people, when they are there, you should not smoke in front of them. You should be very careful with them. Anedi karanam ade, because it pollutes the air, and when you breathe in the same air, you are also getting affected. So passive smoking is even more dangerous. So you must take precautions. It occurs when a person who is not smoking breathes in the smoke from people who are smoking. Passive smoking can irritate the eyes and nose and cause a number of health problems such as heart disease and lung cancer. Tobacco smoking is especially harmful to babies and young children. But if you ask the people who are smoking, they will give silly and stupid reasons. They will say, smoking makes me to look cool, act elderly, I lose weight, I look like a thug, I feel very independent, I feel like hero. Ilaganni matladtaru. These are all stupidity. Actually, weak people who don't have self confidence will only do such stupid things. But children, you all know how to handle your emotions, you all know what is right, what is wrong, you all know how to be self confident. You also know how important it is to have good health, because health is wealth. And today we are going to see about alcohol and drugs. Now let's understand these alcohol and drugs. What are the side effects? A వీకెండ్ ఇమ్యూన్ సిస్టమ్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు కోవిడ్లో అఫెక్ట్ అయిన వాళ్ళు మీరు చూస్తే డయాబెటిక్స్ ఉన్నవాళ్ళు, బ్లడ్ ప్రెషర్ ఉన్నవాళ్ళు, స్మోకింగ్, then people who have this alcohol habit, all these people have got affected because of that. That's why they say children don't get affected, because children don't have such bad habits kada. So these bad habits will make our immune system very weak. Ante ఒక చిన్న వైరస్, చాలా ఎఫెక్టివ్ వైరస్ లేనా కూడా ఆ చిన్న వైరస్, బికాస్ వీఆర్ వీక్, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఎంటర్స్ అవర్ బాడీ వీ విల్ ఫాల్ సిక్. That is why for COVID, they are saying that people who are all weak will definitely get affected. And it is the virus that is spread in the air. Now, when you smoke, when you breathe the same thing, then immediately you get affected. And people with BP and sugar, they are so weak, they are vulnerable, and their immune system is so bad that they all get affected, and it increases the risk of infection and illness. Heart conditions ranging from abnormal heart rates to heart attacks and collapsed veins and blood vessels, infections from injected drugs, nausea and abdominal pain, which can also lead to changes in appetite and weight loss, increased strain on the liver. For people who drink, their liver will get affected. If liver get affected, lungs gets affected, lungs get affected, kidney gets affected, kidney gets affected, heart failure, then we may lose that person also. And this can also lead to low appetite and weight loss. Increased strain in the liver will cause great risk to their life. Then they'll have seizures, strokes వస్తుంది, mental confusion and brain damage, lungs disease ఇవన్నీ వస్తుంది. They may even lose their memory. They can't even remember things. Decision making రాదు, attention deficiency ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు అనేది వాళ్ళకే తెలీదు. So these are all so much of negative impacts we have because of this. Now, alcohol drinking is also like smoking affects the other person. A person, we will always see on the road, no, don't drink and drive అని సైన్ బోర్డ్స్ మనం చూస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు somebody who is not an alcoholic, ఒక మంచి అతను, he is driving a car properly, following the road rules, and he is driving a car. ఎదురుగా వచ్చేవాడు తాగి, if he is going to drive the car rashly, and if he hits this car, what will happen? Both of them will die. Ippudu the person who drank and he drove the car, if he dies, it's okay because he has made a mistake. But what happens to this guy? He did not drink, he was following all the road rules, safety measures he has taken, he was driving the car so well in his lane, but even he got hit. So children, any bad habits, it not only affects the person doing it, but it also affects others. So if you see some of the points I have put here, you, because of drinking habits, when you drink and drive, you may get caught in police, there can be accidents, you can also lose your body parts, you will have heart diseases, it affects your liver, lungs and kidney, you are also open to cancer. You may also get affected with cancer. Then amnesia. What is amnesia? Memory loss. So these things, and finally, at very young age, it may lead to death also. So never you should have such bad habits. And as adolescent children, you all know how much it is important to safeguard yourself, and also because we are learning about uh, social awareness also, isn't it? So it is very important that socially how you behave and how well you understand and take care of your health and also others is very important. Now you evaluating yourself is very important, because these bad habits can affect our relationship. You will lose your respect also. Nobody will like to be friends with you because of your bad habits. And even we don't like to be friends with people who are having negative behaviors, isn't it? అబద్ధం చెప్పేవాళ్ళు లేకుంటే చాలా కోపపడేవాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళతో ఈవెన్ వీ డోంట్ లైక్ టు బీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కదా. అలాగా ఈ చెడ్డ అలవాటు ఉన్న వాళ్ళ దగ్గర కూడా మనం we don't feel like going. So same way, people who have these habits, they also lose friends and relatives. So you must, how does your relationship affect your life? It will affect in school, it will affect at your work, it will affect your physical health, emotional health, and also you may lose your good friends and family. And then you will become very independent. Me chata edi kaadu, you always need somebody to support you because you are in use of all these bad habits. So peer pressure, sometimes what happens, ఫ్రెండ్స్ వాళ్ళు ఏ జాలీగా చేస్తాం రా, ఏం తప్పు లేదురా, లెట్స్ డూ ఇట్ అనేసి చెప్తారు. బట్ యు ఆర్ ఆల్ స్ట్రాంగ్ క్యారెక్టర్డ్ పీపుల్, స్ట్రాంగ్ క్యారెక్టర్డ్ అండ్ రెఫ్యూజల్ స్కిల్ మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసు. వాట్ ఈస్ మెన్ బై రెఫ్యూజల్ స్కిల్? సేయింగ్ నో వెన్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే నో. భయపడి నో అనిపించినా కూడా అయ్యో తిడతాడో ఏమో అనేసి ఓకే అని చెప్పకుండా, I know this is bad, this will bring bad name to me, it will also bring bad name to my parents అనేది మనకు బాగా తెలుసు. కాబట్టి when somebody forces us to do such negative things, you should strongly say no, because you have learned how to stand up for yourself. Peer relationship లో మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం కదా, ఆస్క్ అనే దట్ ఫార్ములా మనం యూజ్ చేసాం కదా. ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్, స్టాండ్ అప్ ఫర్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, నో వాట్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఈజ్ రైట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్ అనేది మనం చూసాం కదా. సో పియర్ ప్రెషర్ మీకు ఉన్నా కూడా యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ అన్ అసెర్టివ్ రెఫ్యూజల్. అసెర్టివ్ అంటే కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా ఇది చెడ్డ అలవాట, నో ఐ వోంట్ డూ ఇట్, యూ షుడ్ ఆల్సో నాట్ డూ ఇట్ అనేది మీరు స్ట్రాంగ్ గా చెప్పాలి. And if somebody forces you, you should immediately inform your elders or your teacher or your parents, and you should never fear to tell them. So assertive refusal, state your position and stand your ground by acknowledging the right of others. Ante mimmalni compel cheyadam matram lekunda, suppose your friend, they are forcing, they know that you are a strong person, you are a confident person అని వాళ్ళకి తెలుసు. దానివల్ల they may not trouble you, but they may be troubling your friend. So even if they are going to do that to your friend, you should immediately talk for him. You should say, no, this is wrong, you can't force my friend to do such bad things. I know what is right, what is wrong. I have been taught. My parents have told me this is good, this is bad. I have all positive values. I know how to handle these dirty, negative peer pressure. So, that way, you should save yourself as well as your friends and stand up for them also. So, how can you do this? Most effective approach when facing negative peer pressure. మీకు ఎవరన్నా ఒక నెగటివ్ పియర్ ప్రెషర్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు హౌ టు హ్యాండిల్ ఇట్? స్టెప్ 1 ఏం చెప్పాలి? నో అనేది స్ట్రాంగ్గా చెప్పాలి. ఇప్పుడు హూ ఎవర్ ఈస్ ఫోర్సింగ్ యూ, వాడు మీ ఫ్రెండ్ అనుకోండి, దెన్ సజెస్ట్ చూడు ఇవన్నీ తప్పు, లెట్ us నాట్ డూ సచ్ థింగ్స్ అనేది you can explain to him. He is not listening to you, then put your foot down, say no, use strong body language, look at him eye to eye and say no, I will not do it, you should also not do it అనేది మీరు స్ట్రాంగ్గా చెప్పాలి. ఎప్పుడు భయపడి ఒక చెడ్డ అలవాటకు యూ షుడ్ నాట్ గివ్ ఇన్. నా వాట్ ఈస్ మెన్ బై స్పీకింగ్ ఫర్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్? ఎలా ఒక సిట్యువేషన్ వస్తే మనం హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి? నా ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఫీలింగ్ ప్రెషరైజ్డ్, మిమ్మల్ని స్మోక్ చేయని ఏదన్నా మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఫోర్స్ చేస్తే హౌ కెన్ యూ హ్యాండిల్ ద సిట్యువేషన్? ఇన్సైడ్ మన లోపల కూడా ఒక ప్రెషర్ ఉంటుంది కదా, మీకు తెలుసు మీరు చేసేది రైటా రాంగ్ అనేది మీకు తెలుసు. సో యూ షుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు అఫెక్ట్ మై హెల్త్, ఆల్సో మై ఫ్యామిలీ. How bad my family will feel, how bad my teacher will feel. I will lose respect. So, understanding all these things, you should say no and then walk out from that place. Suppose they are really pressurizing you, you are not able to handle it. Please do not hide anything from your parents. Tell them and they will come for your help. So, children, your responsibility is to take care of yourself. Be self confidence. You all know what is right and what is wrong. So, never yield to such negative pressures. With this, I am stopping today. Next week, Monday, we will see intimidation. Intimidation ante sometimes some people will scare us. We will see what it is, and I want even parents to attend this program, especially next Monday, so that we will be able to understand our adolescent children more, and children will also know how to handle such people. So thank you, children. We'll meet again on next Monday. Have a great week ahead.